So I told her I would do it as long as she didn't broadcast on the radio. Welcome to the Afro Anime Initiative podcast. I'm your host, Darren Bradley, along with
Sorry, Paulina here. Hi guys.
and
What's up, guys? It's Marvette. How you guys doing?
please forgive us, but it's just a real fun time in Chicago this week. And yeah, be careful what you watch on the radio. Um, we're just gonna get right into topic so we don't keep laughing about that, and we're just gonna move right into our first topic of the day.
All right.
New York City Comic Con has been canceled. So they're not going to do anything in person, and everybody expected this. But again, it's New York City Comic Con. It is the last big con of the year, and everybody's like, "Cool, please don't make it up like SDCC did, San Diego Comic Con." Guys, I know it's been a week. Actually, it's been a couple of weeks. How was your San Diego Comic Con experience? P, let's start with you.
To be to be honest, it wasn't. Okay, I know it's as we discussed in the last time we talked about when it first happened, or just as it happening. I don't know. As it was happening, it was just odd because they had all these streaming panels. The ones I really wanted to see were canceled. But the only one I bothered with, and honestly I didn't really finish, sadly, was the Junji Ito panel. In case some of you don't know, he's a rather, I don't want to say rather prominent horror manga artist and story writer, and most of you may be familiar with Uzumaki or even Tome, or it's Tome is wild. But yeah, even with that, it's like I couldn't even finish it. It was just weird connectivity issues, and I know that they posted all the panels on the official page, like on the official YouTube, so you can always go back and revisit. But it's just not the same. It really isn't, as being a convention. So it felt pretty flat to me, at least.
Yeah. Mars?
I hated that it was lacking a lot of diversity. That was very much of a turnoff. And everybody that submitted questions, they were so redundant, and everybody kept talking over and over and over again about the same thing. I pretty much hopped from one panel to the next and the next and the next to see how it's going. Connections was shitty, excuse my language. But it's just like, even from home and you're on the cyber call, you want it to be awesome, experience some magic, but it was basically like, I feel like they were reading from paper.
Yeah.
You submitted your question, they wrote the answer down on a piece of paper, and they passed it around to everybody on a panel. And I was like, oh, great.
Yeah.
It was a turnoff.
I feel like that sort of thing, because it's everybody's first time doing it in this format. Everyone's like, we got to write everything down and be polished and blah blah blah. Versus a live panel, it's just laid back and people just, you don't know what happens.
But I mean, this is your work.
Yeah.
Hold on. I wanted to give them that excuse. I watch a lot of Twitch. That stuff's live.
Yeah.
You got to interact with people and just talk to them like you would in real life. And to block the people that act stupid, just like you do at the real live Comic Con. You could have did it better online, because you just press block. You read before you say something, and if it's bad, block that person. Don't say it. Move on to the next thing without missing a beat. A good moderator can do that easily.
True.
Like, I wanted to give them that excuse.
Those people go live on Instagram all the time for
all
Q&As.
the time.
So what's your issue?
Right.
What's really your issue?
And what made the actual SDCC stuff, even their problems, bigger for me, I was watching so much other stuff that all the big companies were doing for SDCC, and I thought I was watching SDCC, and I wasn't.
What were you watching?
I was watching Sideshow. I was watching the Hasbro stuff. I was watching McFarlane stuff. I was watching Xenoscope stuff. I was watching Skybound stuff.
Huh.
I'm just watching all these companies
Wow.
that I follow, like just individually, doing stuff for SDCC, thinking it was SDCC. Like, no, we're just doing our own thing. They just doing their own thing, and they did it smooth. Small companies like Xenoscope is not a big company. They just did a live YouTube broadcast 3 days in a row with the people that work and make their comic books, and they just had fun. It was smooth. It was smooth. It might only been like 12 people watching, but it's YouTube. YouTube had 15,000 people watching stuff at one time. No hiccups.
Hmm.
Live chat, moving, scrolling.
That's true.
Nice.
When people be doing games, like man, when a new Fortnite update come out, even if the dude don't play Fortnite no more, but if he's a Fortnite streamer, but it's a Fortnite update, his stream get 10K views. Chat moves, the stream go fine, no hiccups. It might be a couple of glitches at the beginning of the stream. After that, everything's smooth because everything's settled.
Nice.
Like I can't get him that excuse. And I watch Twitch every night. Look, when we get done recording, I'm gonna watch Twitch tonight. People go live all the time. Massive numbers. Like I watch big streamers, massive numbers. Y'all could have did better. Y'all could have did better. The infrastructure's there. They just it's that thing that people are starting to get, and this is going a little bit off topic, but people are starting to realize about Jet and Ebony magazine. You know they're going out of business. They're bankrupt. It's because too many people who are in charge, even though they want to do stuff for younger people, they don't do stuff with them. So they're not up to date with the stuff that needs to happen. How to set this stuff up and make it look good, professional, and still comfortable. They don't know how to just go talk to a moderator or a host and be like, yo, how good are you with internet? What's your following on your own personal YouTubes and Twitch streams? Can you do this live with a bunch of big movie stars? And they'll be like, yeah, I do it all the time anyway. Half the freaking YouTubers got bigger followings than the movie stars we follow.
True.
People do this stuff every week. And SDCC they were stuck in a place of, well, when we had the hall, we had 15,000 panels going on at one time. So we have to do the same thing now. But we discussed this the last time. But then your panel with 700 gets canceled, but a panel with 400 stays? How does that make sense?
Yeah.
Even
no,
less than
part,
that.
That part must,
So, I mean, I just hope New York City Comic Con learns from this. We already know DC Fandom, which is, I believe, August 22nd coming up. DC Fandom. I said it wrong the first time. DC Fandom, y'all. Look for the right, URL. They're taping their stuff. They've already taped half the stuff. So when we get to our main story today, none of the stuff that just happened this past week is going to be in their fandom. And it's going to be weird and it's going to be messed up. So you have to maintain that live comfortability that people are used to at these conventions while still doing them online. And like I said, I can't take an excuse that they're new to it because there are people who sit at home with 2 desktop computers and 3 monitors that talk to the world every night without problems. And when there are problems, they fix it right then and there without no tech company, without no help from engineers, fix it themselves and go right back to streaming. So I don't know. I don't know. You guys got any final thoughts before we move on?
That's it.
My thing is this though, like for a big company, why are they treating it like it's something for them to start to learn? You've been hosting this for a long time. You should already have the technical things intact. Like
I said, I think it's that older person in charge syndrome. Well, we'll do it for the young folks, but we don't really need their insight on it, type of thing.
Fail.
But you have a lot. But that's the thing, though. As a company, shouldn't you have young folks instead of you sitting up there in a suit and tie telling 1, 2, 3 that you don't know 1, 2, 3 about?
They don't want to relinquish control.
Yeah,
right there. And it's their and it's their undoing. It's their ultimate undoing.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna bite them in the butt hard.
Yep, because that's why E3 is going away. I'm sorry, I don't know if E3 coming back, even if everything gets back to normal. That's why a lot of these cons that aren't here are changing their structure. They learned after this. Look, a lot of people did learn from SDCC. That's why I hope New York City Comic Con did. So Yeah, they're gonna go the way of the dinosaurs. They just don't want to give up a little bit of control, or not even. You ain't got to give up control. You just got to be smart enough to listen to the kids, man. Just be smart enough to listen to them.
Hire them. Hire the ones
Yeah,
that know what they're doing,
that too.
and pay.
On that
Yeah.
note, let's get more depressed.
Yay!
Oh God.
Cool.
Sweet.
Pete, you brought this to our attention because I literally wasn't paying attention. I was actually too busy watching the cartoon. The
Oh,
creators
right.
of Avatar live action on Netflix have left the project. Tell the people why.
Creative differences. Apparently, um, when they first started doing this project, of course, it's been many years in the making. Netflix was willing to work with them with whatever vision that they had. And now, apparently, like this week, they literally were just like, nah, we're not doing this anymore. And it wasn't spontaneous. It wasn't like just a last minute, decision that they decided to go, okay, you know what, this is not working, goodbye. No, this actually has been building up because apparently
Mhm.
it just wasn't turning out the way they envisioned it. Like literally both of them didn't recognize what I can't say they didn't recognize, but they didn't really it wasn't their vision. It just wasn't. And they were like,
Yeah.
"You know what? No, we're not a part of this. We can't do this anymore." So they're both leaving
And
and it's like,
are these the original creators from the
what
cartoon?
is it?
Are these the original creators from the
Yeah.
cartoon from the
Yes.
series? Okay.
That's
Okay.
the disappointing thing about it. When, you're working with someone with their stuff, their story, their
Hmm.
idea,
Right.
okay? And you got ideas of your own. You got, a direction you think that the story should go. And it becomes like this weird um, kind of tug of war over, like, oh, well, this has been done already. Let's do this thing. And it's like, no, we, the creators, know what we want to do with the material. Let us do this. And I'm, it was probably because of that. Like, that was probably the reason why they left.
I mean, don't forget, they saw what just happened with the M. Night Shyamalan
Mm,
thing. Why you want to go back to doing that?
bring that up.
Oh, God.
I'm so glad I didn't watch it. I'm so glad I didn't have to sit through that.
Yeah.
Like I could smell how horrible it was from a mile away from just not even the trailer, just the announcement. I'm like, oh
Dude, as soon as I heard the cast, I'm like, where the Asian people at? Oh, they're the
no.
bad
Hmm.
guys? Yeah, we're not watching this.
Oh,
We're
the
good.
dark skinned
Thanks.
Asians are the really bad ones. Oh, okay, I see.
Oh, boy. Yep. Yep. Yep.
So, and freaking no, I'm not even gonna get into that. But yeah, so that's the disappointing thing. So now we're looking. Well, I'm looking at the show like I, I don't, I can't. I don't.
I'm not for the press. I'm not for the press play on that
Right. Like,
either.
what's the point? If the create and like one of the creators, I'm pretty sure he was just being diplomatic, saying like, "Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a great show," and in my head, I'm like, "No, it's not." Like, no, it's not.
Because I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I know I read the announcement when they joined the Netflix team, and most people when they join Netflix do multi-project
True.
deals.
True.
So it's possible that they got some other stuff going on with Netflix, so they not trying to ruin that because they finna mess up this.
True.
It
Yeah,
could
that's what they're.
be
Well, one of them did say that they're not leaving the Avatar universe completely. It's just the show itself they're not doing. The live action they're not doing.
right because if I'm not mistaken, and I believe we talked about this. Oh wow, a long time ago. Nickelodeon and Netflix are in like a 8-year deal or
Uh
something.
huh.
Like all Nickelodeon stuff is going to Netflix now. So that's Avatar, and they not gonna lose grip of that. And Nickelodeon's like, y'all ain't finna mess up the people that kept us alive. No, 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 no. So they gotta have other projects in the
That
works.
is true. I'm gonna watch so much
Yeah,
SpongeBob after this. I completely forgot.
right.
Like,
Yeah, yeah,
that's a really good.
Their
yeah.
announcement
People,
was so broad, they didn't go into any details.
No,
and I
Yeah.
think, like I said, I think that's why that supports my theory the most because they didn't go
Mm-hmm.
into details. Like, okay, y'all gonna mess this up. The people gonna let y'all know about it, but we have these other cool things we're gonna do, and we're gonna be good.
right.
They just don't
Exactly.
want they just don't their name associated on another bad product from their
Mm-hmm.
baby.
Exactly. Or
Exactly.
at least, well, I don't want to say bad product. Sometimes, if it's different, it's not necessarily bad. But for them,
True,
they just
true.
say that it was just unrecognizable to them.
And that's the scary
Yeah.
part. So you just throw Avatar onto the service, all 3 seasons, bam, get it, go on, take it now. It was like number 3. I think that was the highest it went to. I can't remember. I can't remember if it actually hit number 1 when it dropped on their top 10 chart. Justin, how old is their cartoon now?
What cart? What cartoon?
Avatar.
Um,
The last,
with the last you the
the last
yeah, the
Airbender. Yeah.
last Airbender. I'm sorry, I'm like my brain is stuttering.
No
Didn't
problem.
didn't
No
they have
problem.
the Legend of Korra on there yet? Or no? Not yet.
No, it comes in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
So yeah, like Avatar's it has been more than 10 years. Am I that old? Yeah, I probably am. So a 10-year-old cartoon breaks into your top 10.
10 years. Holy shit. Sorry.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
2010.
Yeah. A 10-year-old cartoon breaks into your top 10. And you know the live action is gonna do great. Live action is more of your stuff. Yeah, you got a lot of good anime and stuff on there. Yeah, Voltron hit for a while there, but live action is still your bread and butter. Why would you not go with the people that made this thing that still blew up on your service 10 years later? That doesn't make any sense. And you know Core is gonna do the same thing. All them people that hate it are still gonna hate watch it.
Hate watching.
Oh, Korra actually dropped today, guys.
Core, you gotta be
Legend of
kidding
Korra's
me.
on
I hate
Netflix
Netflix. I freaking
today.
hate Netflix. I didn't get no notification. I didn't get nothing. Okay, cool. Anyway,
I'll be a notification. It dropped today.
wow. All right. So as of this recording, what's today? So I don't even know what today is. I'm just gonna
August 14th.
take a nap.
August 14th.
And,
That's the month. August.
Okay. So as of August 14th, The Legend of Korra is on Netflix. So you can watch both series. And I know it's going to break. It's going to break into the top 10. People are going to hate watch it. So why would you want to mess with people that brought you something that's been so creatively loved, and mess up a live action version of it, which is going to be your bread and butter anyway? I don't get that. I don't get that mentality. Now, if it's talking about some over budget stuff, let's be honest, it's going to take some special effects to make that bending look cool.
For sure.
But you spend money like that. You spend money like that on stuff. Umbrella Academy wasn't cheap looking.
Very true.
So you know you will spend money on stuff. I know you didn't spend money on the Marvel stuff, but we'll forgive you because Marvel got it. So you can spend money to make that look dope. I hope that's not the reason they left. I hope that's not it. Now, there's some character stuff. It's even worse. I hope it's not, because if it don't look like Avatar because it doesn't look cool or the graphics, the CGI ain't there. I hope that's not why they left, because you can work around that with good writing,
honestly,
with good
the
actors.
thing with those two is I feel like, as the kind of creators that they are, producing Avatar: The Last Airbender was, I guess, one of their greatest feats. So I think that they would be able to work with whatever it is that they got. They just love the story. So I highly doubt that's it. Personally, I highly doubt that's it.
Okay. I don't know. That was a really sad moment when I saw you post that. I'm like, no, why? Wait, no.
I was sad too. I was like, well, I'm not watching. No, I'm not gonna bother. Nope, it's okay. I'm good.
Marv, are you gonna watch the last Airbender live action Netflix series?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I watched the series they had, 3 seasons of it. It was good, but if they were to do something new or play around with it, I like things being the same. And if they're gonna do movies of it, I'd rather it be that or advancing it, but keeping it a series, I'm skeptical when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Because I thought when they said that they were going to do Avatar, like multiple Avatar projects, I thought they were going to take the comic books, which do pick up directly from the cartoon, and adapt it to animation. I thought that's what they're going to do.
I was hoping for that, because I hear the comics are really, really good. Especially when like the story of Zuko searching for his mom? I'm like, I want to read that.
I just finished the audiobook of that arc. It is so dope. So dope. It's good. It's good.
Send it to me.
I'll send you a link.
Watch the movie for it? Did you watch the movie?
For Zuko?
No, Avatar: Last Airbender.
No.
shitty as
Oh,
hell.
we know.
See, yeah,
We
yeah,
know just
yeah.
by
That's
looking at
why.
it. We
The honest, if it wasn't for the series on Netflix, the 3 seasons, I wasn't gonna be into it.
oh
Yeah. Yo, no, that's the
yeah.
point. That's how bad that movie was. People who never even knew about the cartoon but were so hyped up, or a movie and everybody hyped up about it, went to see that movie and didn't want to watch the cartoon.
That's what ruined it. It's just
Mm-hmm.
so sad too, and it's like what made it worse was one of the actor who played Sokka. Who I want to punch him in the face so bad. He said some dumb stuff,
Real
real dumb
stuff.
about who
Mm-hmm.
gets to play the character. Like really, white boy, really.
Yeah,
Yep.
Like
yeah.
it just made the experience even worse. I'm
Hold
like,
on. Hey P, hey P. Remember how he didn't get in so much trouble as he was supposed to? Because then Scarlett Johansson done but opened her mouth. Yeah, that's why
Girl.
we don't. That's why we don't like Scarlett Jo.
Hmm.
can't stand her ass.
Oh my god. Oh
But
my
I love the
god.
jokes
Well,
around
speaking of that,
surrounding. I just love the jokes
mhm.
surrounding fan casts though. Like there was a whole post about like fan cast of if they redid like the movie or the live action. These are the dream actors and they're all Asian except for Aang, who's Scarlett Johansson. And I
Scarlett
had a
Johansson
good
is in.
laugh.
Yeah,
It was
yeah, yeah,
the funniest stuff.
yeah. My favorite when they came out when they said yeah, and she said she's not shaving her hair. I'm like motherfucker. Like yo,
I'm
it's so
like, oh my
stupid.
god.
Oh
Yep.
Wow.
my god.
This is
But yeah,
this is the
man.
world we
So
live in right now.
Netflix, yeah, Netflix get it together. But y'all kind of got it together already. So because the Afro Anime Initiative, check out our YouTube channel at Afro Anime Initiative, or better yet, Afro underscore AI. It'll come up quick in the algorithm. We are going to do a review of Netflix's new movie, Project Power. Um, it's interesting. It's interesting. Check out the review for more on that. And that takes us to, well, we're in our movie section, so we might as well keep going. Two dope trailers have dropped in the past. Yeah, it's been a week. Dang, it's been 1 week, man. There's a week called Woke and Judas and the Black Messiah. Both movies basically about, man, just about being black, man. And I just love it because they don't stray from it. Woke is gonna be, I believe, a Hulu original, which I'm really looking forward
Yes.
to. And Judas
Mhm.
and the Black Messiah should be a theatrical release. I don't know what those are anymore, but it's probably gonna hit some streaming service and it'll be fine.
Oh, it will definitely be fine, especially in today's climate.
Right. So, guys, let's talk about woke first. What are your thoughts on woke?
Perfect. You want to go first?
It's very interesting. I like the idea and the concept of it. It's different, and I'm looking forward to it. Honestly.
Okay, okay, okay. PP, how you feeling? How you
Okay,
feeling?
so it gave me a lot of sorry to bother you vibes. I hate that word.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, like as soon as I
Yes.
saw the trailer, I'm just like, this isn't friendly.
Yeah.
This is chaotic. Did Boots Riley write this? It's like, is this
Mm-hmm.
sorry to bother you?
Mm-hmm.
Because it just hit me hard. Because when I looked at the trailer, it's like, okay, that's kind of me, to be honest. Like, I'm just living my life.
Mm-hmm.
I love people. I actually don't like people, but people,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm aware. But it's like, okay, and then you have this guy who's just hit, this black dude who's hit hard with discrimination by the police, being thrown on the ground, and now he's like paranoid to the point where it's like he sees inanimate objects talking to him in black voices.
His inanimate
His inanimate
objects.
objects. No, but I
Yeah.
think it was like random inanimate objects in the street
No,
too.
I think they're drawn. Okay,
Well,
hold
I
on.
mean,
We didn't break
John.
down what it's
Yeah.
about. No, we didn't break down what it
Uh,
was about. He is a
yes.
cartoonist,
Yes. Yes.
and he got this great, super popular cartoon, nationally syndicated, I believe, or going national. And nobody knew he was a black dude that wrote it
Yes.
because it's just humorous. It does not ethnic. And I'm doing quotations. Y'all can't see me. But it's super humorous. Nobody know a black dude wrote it. Well, they're about to find out.
Yep.
So object that he draws, who come to life in his cartoons, start coming to life in real life form. And like you said, start talking in black voice, start waking them up to the system, so on and so forth.
True. Through
Mhm.
other inanimate objects in his real life. So it's like it's chaotic. Just the trailer itself is it's chaotic. It's just colorful and I don't want to say disturbing, but it assaults the senses.
hmm
and it just reminded me of that, of Sorry to Bother You, because it's the same way. And honestly, for me, it's like black minds are so creative when it comes to throwing out like really really chaotic stuff, and it works. So I'm actually looking forward to this, because I recognize at least two of the comedians in the movie. I mean, in the show. Is it going to be a show? I'm like blanking out. I forgot. A series.
Series.
Series. It's a
Right, it's
series
a
on Hulu.
series.
Mhm.
So I know it's going to be fun. Um, so I'm looking forward. I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm probably going to watch it next year because I'm really terrible at keeping up. But but
Like I might be nice to somebody that owns Hulu, so I could watch this. I'll think about it.
I
We'll
can make a
figure it out.
profile.
I got you.
Oh well,
I know. That's what I'm
you know,
saying.
We
we
got
good.
you.
We got you. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. So it looks like we'll all be watching that. It might be an Afro anime review or a live tweet. We'll figure it out when it happens. Then the next trailer on the list we have is Judas and the Black Messiah. I'm gonna kick this one off straight up. All I heard was the first 10 seconds where the main character introduced himself, Huey P. Newton. That's all I needed. I was cool. I was cool. I knew there's a large controversy about the name because Huey hated the name Black Messiah because he felt, as it is, it's a ploy by white society to give black people a Jesus figure, kill that Jesus figure, and kill off the movement. He didn't want to be that. He thought every black person was a leader in the movement. Every black person had their part to play. There was no real just one figurehead. That was his code name found by the FBI was Black Messiah. I did not know that actually until the trailer.
Neither did I. I was deeply surprised by that.
Yeah, that was his code name. So I'm looking forward to that just off the strength of that. And of course, the actors in it. And see, this is why I should learn how to write better because then my notes will be clear. But it's actors I like from a whole bunch of other black movies. Okay, cool. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Marv, how you feel about Judas and the Black Messiah?
Very learning and exciting to watch. And also, yeah, our big brother is going to be a part of this movie. So it's going to be interesting to see how.
Hold
Honestly,
on.
I even.
Hold on. Hold on. No, you can't just skate past that. Big brother finna be a part of this movie.
All right. You know the FBI is a part of this.
I hate you so much. I hate you so much. I really
Every
thought like you had a
black.
family. I thought you had a family member in the movie. We was about
Oh
to
no
make a phone call to get to a
See,
premiere.
see, this is why
know
my
about
butt
Big
is
Brother.
dead
Come on
quiet over
now.
here. Like,
I'm about to say what? What you just
Hey,
say?
Big
A big
Brother,
brother
are
in the
you
movie?
listening? How you doing?
He's so stupid.
Anywho,
Everybody's fired. Everybody's fired. We're canceling the podcast. I'm going
hey,
back to collecting.
follow,
I'm sick of all
subscribe.
this crap.
Don't forget to follow and subscribe.
Don't click the notification bell. All right. So go
We'll
ahead. I'm
be
sorry.
fine.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's the Black Panther party, baby.
Yeah.
That's all you need to say.
Yeah.
In these times right now,
Yeah.
smart ass move to drop this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's 2021, but still smart ass move. Cause
Yeah.
yup. Let me just leave it at that. Yup.
Yeah. So looking forward to all this beautiful blackness, and it doesn't seem to be any of it watered down.
no,
Like, can we add that in there?
it wasn't watered down. Like even from the
None?
trailer, like just looking at it, it
Nope.
was a punch to the face and the gut at the same
Mhm.
time. And I'm like, I want to watch this, but I will get mad, so I don't know because
Yeah.
I'm honestly
Yeah.
excited to see Daniel
oh
Kaluuya
yes,
Yeah.
in this role.
yes, I am.
I'm so
I love him
excited.
so much.
Yes.
God, I love him as an
Thank you
actor.
for looking up his
So
name.
excited. Oh, and our girl, Dominique Fishback, is in this movie
She
too.
is.
Oh, we gonna talk about her.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Dominique
Yup.
Fishback when we do our review for Project Power.
Yup.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
she
this.
she got star written all over her. She got star written all over her.
But
Oh man. So yeah, I'm looking forward to all of it because these movies, I feel I don't want to say they game changers, but I feel like they just for to be like, okay, it's time us to get real about stuff. And because it's not only just people in social media on the streets, it's entertainment. The entertainment, like, yo, dude, we got to give these people something. We got to stop messing around. We got to actually be honest.
Yeah.
So I was feeling it. Well, since we're talking about game changers, let's talk about the great and all powerful empire of the mouse. All hail our glorious leader, Mickey. Disney have decided, after months and months of speculation and anybody with a brain knowing they was going to have to do it, to release Mulan straight to Disney Plus streaming service here in the United States and other countries. And the few countries that do have theaters open where everybody isn't dying, they're going to have it there too. But of course, the big buzz is United States and China. And China is back to shutting down, and United States will never stop shutting down because we're full of idiots. But here's the rub. I like saying that. I just like saying the rub. $29.99 for you to watch Mulan. And they still haven't even said you can own it yet. So it might just be you getting early access to it for something that's going to show up on the streaming service 6 months wait anyway. So, guys, how do we feel about Disney helping to destroy the movie theaters? Go. But Pauline, I believe it's up to you.
So bootleg DVDs are gonna make a comeback, and I'm not gonna fight it because $30, 30 whole ass dollars. Why? I'm.
No, let it out. Let it out.
Speak your truth, girl. Speak your truth.
Why? What sense does it make for them to do something shitty like this? Honestly, because for subscribers, $30. Like, I understand Amazon Prime. If they got a hot movie, pay a little extra for it, with maybe $3 to rent. Okay, $3 to rent, or to actually buy it, $14.99, and you're done with it. Okay, but $30 to do what? For what? $30? You don't even pay fucking $10. Well, now, but $10 for a ticket, and for an adult ticket in the actual movie theater, $6 for a matinee. What? Here,
keep going now. You just warmed up. Keep going.
But I mean, I have the feeling that people are stupid enough to actually shell out $30 fucking dollars. Now, my question is, is this a one-time thing, or will they actually pay $30 and keep it?
That is why I was going to interrupt you to say just like this. This is not about the ignorance of the customer. This is about movie contracts, which they do not want to break, else China will never let another Marvel movie into that country. They need to make up the money that they were going to make for this wholly new Chinese-centric into the mythology of the Chinese culture movie, which they were going to recoup all their money back on when it released in China. And they still got to make sure that they pay those actors who are backed by the Chinese government, I'm sorry to say. And if they don't get their money, China will shut Disney down. Yep. So that $30, it's not going to you because this is such an incredible, fantastic movie, and you must have it in premium 4K, 8K, uprising. No, they got to pay the debtors. They got to pay the massa. They got to pay China. Because when this happens, and this is the thing, because I ain't going to lie, I'm paying the 30. I'm paying the 30. Because when this happens, I get my Marvel movies.
True.
Because I'm sorry to say, movies will make a comeback. It is true. They're going to make a comeback at home because the way the theaters getting played right now, because the theaters thought that they ran the game, some of these theaters might make a comeback. The United States government just destroyed, I don't want to say destroyed, that's a bad word, but they have deregulated the fact that movie studios can't own movie theaters anymore. What I got to worry about going to crappy 21 Century? Is it 21 Century? I always forget the name of it. They crappy right. Why I got to worry about going to they crappy movie theaters? Right. Well, I got to worry about going to they crappy movie theaters when I can go to a Disney theater, feel like I'm in a mini Magic Kingdom, buy exclusive Digi merch, and know that the floor gonna be clean. Netflix theaters. I heard Netflix theaters are the bomb.
Netflix has theaters? Where?
They are in New York, LA, and I believe there's one in Atlanta now.
Since when? I've been out of the loop with this.
Oh, it's been years, bro. Yeah, it's just, they they don't advertise it because the movie theaters was putting them in a
Ah.
chokehold. But now that the game has changed, everything's going to streaming because thanks to Disney, and we'll talk about their competitor Warner Brothers, what they've done too. Like the movie theaters don't have no power, and because of the COVID, they thought that they could tell the movie theaters what to do because they're like, well, y'all can't make nothing. If y'all can't make nothing, where y'all gonna show it? And every single company was like, we got internet, right? And the movie theaters look stupid now. Universal helped start it. And everybody like, well, Universal is small compared to the big timers. The big timers watch Universal get away with it. Bam, here go Disney. Yo, Mulan, our biggest movie of the year. Here you go. Yeah, it's a high price, but first of all, Disney people gonna pay for it. And if it's actually good, everybody else is gonna jump on the bandwagon. They are.
Sure.
So
Think
that's
of
why.
it this way. It's a cost of a movie ticket. You buy a movie ticket, popcorn, a drink. It really costs more than that, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. And they like, no, now you can get it for your whole family. You can cook it home, make your own meal, get drunk watching Mulan, get high watching Mulan.
How many times can I watch it?
That's the thing.
That's my question.
There's not a set. There's no set time. There's no set time yet. But what I think what it is $30 to unlock it, and then it's just gonna be on your service. It's there. Because
Disney, we need to talk about this.
Right, because literally 6 months later, it was going to be on the streaming service anyway.
Oh, exactly. So it's just for early access, really?
Going from the movie theaters to a streaming service. It's 6 months. Yeah. And it's barely 6 months anymore. Barely, because, again, Universal and Paramount, I want to say Paramount. Oh, my God. Notes. I need better handwriting. Universal and Paramount, they have a 17-day window where it goes 17 days in theaters, then it goes to on-demand services. 17 days. Short. That's barely 2 weekends. Wow. Yes. So Disney like, oh, for real? When we asked y'all to do this as a favor to us, y'all said no, but you finna give these little guys 17 days? Well, we ain't finna give you nothing. And now that the laws changed, we'll open up Disney theaters everywhere. You don't think the Imagineers are already setting this stuff up? You don't think Disney already got people out scouting buildings in mass finna get ready to build theaters? Netflix got people out. They ready. Netflix basically almost took over the Emmys and the Oscars.
Yeah, they did.
With 3 movie theaters. With 3 movie theaters and all this stuff on streaming. Mm-hmm. Disney didn't like that. Disney didn't like that at all. They're like, oh, that's how you want to do it? Cool, we finna open up theaters now. Who you think helped get that law changed?
Oh, of course. Of course. It's all that lobbying.
Yeah. So it's about to be something. And I love it because drive-ins are coming back, and we have a great story about that from a black couple that opened up their drive-in. But let's finish this Disney talk. Drive-ins are coming back, so that's a different type of service, a different type of experience. You got those theaters that serve you actual good cooked food. I don't want to say gourmet, but it's good cooked food. And then they bring it to you. You like you in a restaurant. And then you got the beautiful theaters, the ones I like the most. You can drink alcohol in the mugs. Pictures of margaritas. The best thing. Sangria on tap.
Yes.
I love those.
Sangria.
Love
those.
Mojitos, yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, I love those theaters. So it's like, you got to stop playing. And a lot of these movie theaters thought that they were in control. And the big companies, especially now Disney is the big company, like, nah, we got this. Forget y'all. We asked y'all to help us make
ever since streaming services hit, a lot of movie theaters have been hemorrhaging money. Mm-hmm. It's like just more and more money every year until this happened, like this. Literally, it's all coming to a head now because the pandemic gave these streaming services now a big edge, a huge edge. And I'm starting to think, like, you know what? There is something, as crazy as this sounds from all the conspiracy theories that, you know, my dad has gotten into and that's floating around about this COVID virus, like pandemic. I'm starting to believe that this is man-made on purpose for money to be redirected in this planet.
Yeah.
I mean, you could write
we
it
just
off,
got taken down off YouTube, but we can keep going. It's cool. cool. It's cool.
Whatever. Um, so speaking of movie theaters and drive-ins, we got ourselves
Hmm.
a black-owned drive-in theater in Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah.
And it's the cutest thing. But it's the smartest thing too. I love it. And it's
Hmm.
what is it?
Hmm.
What is the name of the couple?
I literally just had it. Then I turned away because you started talking about it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Crawfords.
Say it again.
Is it the Crawford? Terry Crawford owner? Yes,
Yeah,
Crawford.
Yeah,
Crawfords.
the
Yes.
Crawfords.
So they, had the idea to have this drive-in theater to show black movies, and
Hmm.
it's for me it's super cool because of the ambiance. It's
Hmm.
chill,
Hmm.
and it's they play like old school R&B and hip hop, which I love that. And they what did they do? They bought out like an old space where there used to be a stadium for a baseball team was. So they could easily fit like minimum of 300 cars.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that
Yeah.
is glorious.
Mm-hmm.
That is
And that's the thing that kills me with these giant chain movie theaters. Y'all so slow and so used to being in control that you couldn't adapt. The drive-in theaters coming
yes.
back. Who thought that was gonna ever
No
happen?
one. I'm so happy.
These people are making decent money. Yeah, they're making decent money. They're not out here trying to take over the world. Sorry, Lord Mickey, I didn't mean that. But they're not trying to take over the world. They just want to have a good family-run business and help people enjoy things that they love. Drive-in movie theaters are coming
And
back. But because
no.
go
And
ahead, I'm
because
sorry.
of what? Go, because I'll put when you're done. Go.
And I'm just saying, and just because you guys thought you could strong arm somebody, you're literally denying people the thing that they love to do. Just watch a movie with their family outside.
With,
Like, why would you do that? Because you didn't want to adapt. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Congratulations to them. Congratulations to the Crawfords. Okay, I'm done.
Sorry, guys. The Crawford is the cater company that's there, but the theater is owned by the
the
Morris
Morris
family.
family.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
that clarification. Because
Yes.
aren't the Crawfords also a black-owned business?
Yes, of
Yes, it
course.
is the caterer at the movie. There'll be the catering company there for the drive-through movie.
Boom.
Love it.
It's amazing
Love it.
having beautiful soul food while
Yes.
watching an amazing movie
And
from the back
and
of your
didn't have
car.
and didn't have to sneak it in with Tupperware. I mean, come on,
Right.
man.
You know what? Get your glass of sweet tea.
Bruh. Bruh.
Oh,
Get your life.
look, bring
Bruh.
me some peach cobbler with ice cream on top of it, and I'm good.
Man, it's amazing that if the lot fits 300
Yeah.
cars.
Oh, it's good
That's
business.
How
money.
Very
ama-
good business.
th- how
Yes.
amazing that
And the thing is,
is.
it's so,
Yes.
and
Yes.
Wow.
I'm excited because number one, I love these things. I love drive-in theaters. That granted, I've only been to a drive-in theater once in my life, and I was maybe 6 years old. I went with my parents to sit in Wisconsin one time. God, it was so long ago. All I remember was the movie was Grease, and it was an it was an
Hmm.
old fashioned drive-in, and the only difference was that you like of course you had to tune in to a station on the radio in order to get the sound from the movie, and I just remember my dad just it was late. We had to leave kind of I don't want to say early-ish, but not until like before the movie completely ended because that's just that he wants to beat traffic. He always wants to beat traffic. And I
Hmm.
just remember driving like on a country road heading back home. And it was just so nostalgic for me. So seeing this, I'm like, please let more pop up everywhere because it's just such a cool experience. You literally don't have to get out of your car, except maybe to concessions. But even so, with this drive-in theater, you have to order online. And they bring the food to you. Yeah. And they
Hmm.
bring the food to you. And I'm
Hmm.
like, huh,
Hmm.
that's actually really smart. That's
Hmm.
super smart. You get to eat in your car. You don't have to get up. You don't have to get out. You don't have to walk across sticky floors. you don't run the risk of sitting on needles for some reason. There's a weird urban myth.
Bruh.
I don't even
Yeah,
know. It's
no,
not
I
urban
heard
Oh
myth. I
about
don't even
yeah.
that.
know if it's urban myth. I think it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, like have the that, and then have people eating loudly and sitting, have some big person sit in front of you, and it's like, no, you're
Cell
cu-
phone.
and then
Cell
talking
phone.
loudly won't shut him the hell up, and chewing, the
Mhm.
chewing, ugh.
Put your mouth open. Jesus Christ,
Oh,
man.
I can't. Let me
Mhm.
hear the
Yeah,
movie.
the movie theater experience has become trash because these companies. I keep telling people, I don't care if it's 4 or 5 companies doing it. If they all working together, it's still a monopoly. And I know there's a word for it, but I just read monopoly, just easier for people to understand. Um, and their monopoly is broken, and it's thanks to Netflix. Netflix can do some shitty stuff sometimes, but Netflix like, yeah, screw y'all. Y'all are screwing people over. We're going to change it. They tried to do it with Movie Pass. It didn't work. But now they just do it with their business anyway, just by being
Hmm.
them. And I like that. I like that.
Well, Netflix.
Black
Yes.
people are adapting quickly.
Yes. Finally.
Yes. Like, oh,
Hmm.
for real, there is a scream out for this for people to go outside and to be interactive but still be safe. Hey, we just gonna get this job in. Let's just go
You
old school
know,
with it.
I think black people, like, I think this is the time for black people to really step up and take advantage of this, because I think they understand what it means to, navigate spaces in a way that keeps them safe.
Yeah.
That's true.
So, black entrepreneurs, this is your chance. Jump right into it. So, this is super cool. I hope more of these pop up. I'm willing to, I'm ready to just support all black. I really am. I really am, especially this. This is cool. This is definitely something that will get a lot of attention.
Yeah,
Hmm.
super cool. Super
And
cool.
it just eliminates the need for public transportation. I hate public transportation so much. It's a pain in my existence. It really is. Early.
Yeah. But that
Go ahead.
but that isn't the only
Hmm.
thing that has changed the game when it comes to movies and entertainment coming out of this current pandemic that we're in. This week, DC and Warner Brother Entertainment have announced that they have fired, I believe it's up to 1,000
Damn.
employees this past week.
Mm.
They have completely decimated their toy division.
Damn.
They have completely canceled DC Universe app. DC originals are now all moving to HBO Max. They are also changing the game when it comes to movies. They are slating their more focused on animation, live action, and focusing on taking their TV shows because they have the whole CW basically, but they have other TV shows that a lot of people don't know about, and refocusing everything to HBO Max. And coming along with that is also there seems to be coming up a great downsizing of DC Comics, the source material of all some of their most vaunted properties they've had for so long. And man, it's a game changer. It's a game changer. Um, I mentioned DC Fan Dome. I got to make sure I say it right every time. It's coming up. That's all pre-taped. They will not be talking about any of these layoffs. They will not be talking about their new hiring, where DC Entertainment is now run by 3 women,
Mm.
and that may not be a good thing. So, who wants to start off first? Because I can go, but who wants to go first?
Honestly, it was something that we already overseen that it was coming
Mhm.
with the pandemic and everything that's going on. But I mean, like, okay, they were making money, a lot of money. So why are you backtracking? What's the next move? Are we expecting everything to be offline, everything to be shut down for a long period of time, and everything to just be hello Zoom calls, hello YouTube, hello Netflix, whatever, social
Mhm.
media? Are we
Mhm.
expecting not to be? How long is this gonna go on for that you're cutting off that many people off? A
Mhm.
thousand is a big freaking number.
Yeah, yeah. It's redundancy, really. Like I said, when two giant companies merge, and I think they only kept a lot of people to keep goodwill going because they just couldn't deal with the bad press because they had too much bad press from other stuff, and they took this as the perfect opportunity. They did. Well, look, well, COVID is kind of slowing us down. So all these
Right?
people that we've been wanting to fire, let's just fire them now.
At the worst time.
And yeah, yeah, yeah. And of course and look, and they can always still say, but we did our best to keep them for as long as possible. They can even use that line. This is, it's just that for me, and I know I said I was gonna let you guys go first. I can go, but I just for me, it's it's the attack on the source material because DC, like I said, they have their own toy collecting arm. It only focused on the comic book stuff. They had the DC Comics. That is what got you these properties when Warner Brothers bought them. That's the properties they were supposed to use to get them to compete head on with Disney. It just hasn't been that way. Well, it has been in animation, just not on the live action side. But it hasn't been living up to its fullest capabilities. It just hasn't. They haven't. And then you turn around with the video game side, which is doing well because Disney doesn't do video games really. But Disney will drop something where they just got a Marvel character in it. It's going to outsell almost anything that DC makes except for Batman. So they know what they can do better. And they knew they should have did this, 4 years ago? Yeah. Oh, man, it's been longer than that since they merged. But they were waiting. And they waited to a pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pandemic. No, look, you ain't telling me supposed to be out going on interviews. Like, come on. I'm sorry. All right. P, you want to take this? Let me calm down.
I honestly, I don't have much to say about it because
I'm enjoying that.
wait, what is it?
Go ahead. I was just enjoying him being, he's telling you to calm him down. I'm like, no, go ahead, finish your rant.
Raise your blood pressure.
Because it's so stupid that you don't invest in your source material. I'm sorry, DC. After they had like maybe 1 year of actually kicking Marvel's butt, they literally just started. It was bad stories. So you don't invest with Marvel ain't doing that good either, but they still make the numbers move. And you know that you was relying on these crappy movies to get people to buy the comic books, but then you was giving them crappy books. But it's not supposed to be that way. You get them good source material. So even if they watch the crappy movie, they can still have the source material. Look, 80 years worth of the source material to pick and choose from to get them good stuff to be with, to get them something to follow on, to get attached to the characters. So when the next crappy movie come out, they cool. I'm sorry to let people know. Them first two Thor movies weren't that great, but Thor had 75 years of actual good comic books. I don't want to talk about the 90s. We'll let that slide. 75 years of good comic books. So people still roll with them because they knew what the source material could give them. DC had the same thing, but didn't rely on that to keep people attached to these characters. They kept using anger to get people attached to these characters by changing the characters. Oh, look, well, everybody's talking about it. Yeah, but they're talking about how your stuff is trash.
Press. They relied on bad press.
It's bad press. Yeah. You can't rely on bad press, especially when your source material is pumping out good stories that you can steal from to do something with. You can't keep canceling movies every 5 minutes. You can't keep getting new directors every 10 minutes because they don't want to do your crappy story because they actually care about the comic books. They care about the people that have been buying this stuff for 80 years, who passed it on to their kids, who passed it on to their kids. And again, I understand restructuring. I definitely get the corporate side of all this. And I understand you trying to be slicker because here's the thing, like I said, they're cutting back on doing single issues. DC comic books will soon stop coming out once every month. Maybe the big ones, Batman, might stay doing once a month. Maybe Superman. But after that, no, it's all digital, baby. All digital. Which goes to, again, the short-sightedness of comic book stores. Comic book stores are small, but they did hold a lot of power over the comic book industry because numbers from last year, and we talked about this a couple of podcasts ago, the comic book industry, paper, buying a book was $1 point some billion. The stores had that money. It wasn't just Barnes and Nobles, because Barnes and Nobles put all other bookstores out of business. The comic book stores don't make that money. And the comic book stores, so they can have protection during COVID, thought that they could strong arm. Well, if we go digital, we won't do this. And DC like, and so Warner Brothers like, yo, we don't care. It's not like anybody buying our comic trash. So we don't care if they go into the store or not. They'll download it. And if they don't go into the store, we know where they will go. They'll go into Barnes and Nobles and buy a $150 collector's edition. Because I ain't going to front those $150 collector's editions from DC look dope. They really do. And the people go buying from there or order them off Amazon. It's a straight shift. And this is a domino effect from what Disney is doing. It's a domino effect from Universal, what they're doing with the streaming service. Because DC Universe was, I ain't gonna front. I didn't pay for it. I borrowed somebody else's. It was a geek heaven. You can watch a DC Warner Brothers movie, read the comic book that movie was based on, and then buy a toy based off that comic book. That was one app. That's one app. They finna move all that to HBO, where now you got Friends sitting right there too. DC comic books can make a comic book about Friends. You think people ain't gonna buy that?
They will.
Yeah. And I think that this shift worries me, not even more on the animation side. Now, look, honestly, we're probably going to get better animated movies now. We probably going to get better video games based on our comic book characters. We definitely, look, please, ancestors, bring us better live action movies. DC fandom going to suck, but it's going to be interesting. But the comic books, literally just that feeling of going every Wednesday or Tuesday, whenever they move them now, because they move them on different days now. Going into a comic book store and just smelling books, that's about to be over because the comic book stores thought they could strong arm people. And this is what you get. This is the result. Now you finna have to turn your comic book store into a toy store. That's the only way people gonna come in and get those legends they can't find at Target. Because you wanted to control something that wasn't yours in the first place. The thing that was holding you and keeping you afloat in the first place, you thought you had control of it. And because you just didn't want to listen. You didn't want to change with the times. Look, and I like comic book stores that do this, but now every single comic book store you know is going to have a D&D tournament. That's the only way to get people inside so you can play Dungeons and Dragons for 15 hours and drive other people away. Sorry, D&D fans, but you know it's true. Yeah, it's just been a giant seismic shift from the comic book industry up, because I think a lot of people don't understand that those books, those funny books, drive all the crap that you watch on TV. It drives all the crap you go to see in the movie theaters. Even if a comic book character ain't in it, somebody probably stole it from a comic book, or a comic book stole it from that book first to make it work. And then the movie stole it because they saw the comic book made it work. Now we're getting less comics, less source material. Less source material is always a bad thing. And that's how I know that we're gonna have this story in a couple of weeks. Marvel canceling half their comic book line. They're like, yo, if DC can do it, we can do it better.
You good?
Rant over. Yeah.
I'm glad you got that out.
Probably not. I know you, Darren. You're not done. You're just taking a break. This is never ending.
It is. Because it is that. It's the fan base, and I want to say it's the fan base fault. That's really dumb to say it that way. But it is our lack of understanding of business. Yes, these are comic books that we love. Yes, these are cartoons they love. You know me, I'm a collector. Follow us on Instagram at Afro Anime Initiative, where you can see the black collection I'm building. I collect stuff. But if there's no comic books to create this stuff from, I'm sorry. Half this shit ain't finna work. I'm sorry, the book industry is not as big as it used to be, y'all. Like you just heard me say, Barnes and Noble shut down almost every bookstore. It's not out there like that. And the internet, yeah, people will put their stuff on Amazon, but I've talked to self-publishers. Getting people to click them links on Amazon, even though them suckers cheap, is difficult. It's difficult because people are still in the age where they're used to seeing a physical thing and then deciding to buy it digitally. But if you don't see the physical thing first, a lot of people are having a trouble making that transition to go digital. They just are. It just are. It's a psychological thing. So it's like if you lose the source material, if you lose that fountain of ideas and creativity and experimentation, because you know they're not going to experiment with the cartoons anymore. They're not going to experiment in the movies. That's billions of dollars they could lose. That's where you experiment is on a page. You experiment in the drawings. You experiment in the writing. You experiment in the formatting of that comic book. They finna cut it back.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna get Constantine, a character that, let's be honest, only the real geeks know, and anybody that's a super fan of Keanu Reeves know what a Constantine is. Constantine lasted through like 8 different cancellations, jumped on 10 different shows, went across different networks because the comic book fans kept him going. Because the comic book fans like that actor that they threatened if any other actor did it, they weren't going to pay no money for it. That's what comic book fans do. You reduce the number of comic book fans, you reduce that type of love to get those type of cool things, those cool movements. I may not like this Snyder cut. I think it's BS. When it goes to HBO Max, it won't be the movie that everybody thought they was going to get in the first place. But I got to give power to the fans for making that happen. And I got to give power to DC for being smart enough to know they're going to make money off these fans for doing it. But you don't get that if you don't have comic book geeks and nerds that are so diehard and so passionate about their stuff that they'll fight for a movie. Counter's gonna suck.
True.
And you don't get that when you destroy the source. You just don't. You don't.
Mm.
Okay, I think I'm done now.
Hmm.
No,
And
I was
hold
gonna
on.
say, you
I'm
sure
sorry.
about
One more
that?
thing. And this is coming from a person that's not a DC fan. I grew up reading Marvel comic books. I got into DC later on in life from my godfather before he passed away. He gave me Batman in the Dark Knight. I went down for DC comics. I watched the Adam West show with my mama when I was a kid. That was it. That's all I knew about DC. But then I saw Batman 89. That was it. I'm not a DC fan, but this hurts. It
I was waiting
does.
for that.
Hmm?
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, yeah. You all know me. I'm Marvel, man. Y'all, again, if you follow me on Instagram at Afro Anime Initiative, you see all my Marvel legends. I'm a Marvel dude. I am. But this hurts. This hurts. It does. It's just a less place for stuff to get done to be creative. You know, it just is.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else got anything to say? I need to stop.
No, I think you pretty much said everything for us too. Well, for me at least.
You did. You really did. And more.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, and like I honestly just wanna hope that there is hope for the future. I hope that the people who got fired do find jobs and something that they love, something that they are passionate about. I hope that some of the creators and things that are left that they go, hey, independent publishing works. It does. It does. You just got to get out there, get on them social medias, build that fan base up. Don't do anything stupid, no Comicsgate. Please,
Mm-hmm.
you know, get it. You can do it. You don't need the big companies. They help. Yes, you don't need them. You can do it. You're gonna end on positive note. Go out there. Keep fighting for your passion, for your career. Keep standing up for what you believe in. This is a temporary setback for those people that got fired this past week. It will be okay. There is a future. There is. See, look, sounding like Superman. See, it's all good. Sounding like, look, Superman, a real Superman is hopeful. Stupid Snyder fans. Anyway. Um, so unless there's anything you guys like to talk about in a quick ending, that's all I got on my notes. That's it.
No, you covered it, bro.
Yeah.
Awesome. P.
No,
Covered
good.
it.
We got everything down.
All right. And with that, well, that is the end of Afro Anime Initiative podcast for this evening. I've been Darren Bradley, and thank you for listening to me rant. And hey, guys, go buy a comic book. All right, just there's something for everybody out there. Just buy a comic book. All right, hell, go to Comixology and download a free one. All right, go read a comic book. That's all I got to say. Marv, any closing thoughts?
A book. I don't know if I want to download it. I'd rather buy it. I like seeing hard copies of books. Makes me feel good.
Nice, nice.
Yes. Thank you guys for listening.
All right, P. Any closing thoughts?
I know you can never have too many books, like physical copies, but I'm really utilizing my Kindle, and I'm realizing that I only have so much space,
Nice.
and I'm going to eventually move, and I don't want too many boxes. So,
Yeah.
besides, I actually just got Captain America Winter Soldier comic book not too long ago. The whole not the whole series,
Nice.
but like the Winter Soldier part.
Yeah, the
and
first
then
part.
some Junji Ito manga, and then it's easy to carry. It's all in one place. So do whatever is best for you guys. But like I said, there's nothing like a hard cover book in your hands. But buy a comic book, or a manga or something.
All right. Well, that's it for the Afro Anime Initiative. Thank you guys for listening. Please follow us on all our social media. Links will be in the description of below. And please click that notification bell on YouTube because, please. All right. Bye.
Bye, guys. Oh, buy black. Don't forget to buy black. All right.
Yes, always.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much for listening.